Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at sharing the gospel. In the book of Mark, chapter 15, we're going to read in verse 39. And we see the story here. This is as Jesus died. So Jesus, he was put up on the cross. He then forgave the sins of those who put him up. He said, Father, forgive them, because they don't know what they're doing. Forgive them. And then we see the centurion soldier stabbed a spear. So it's a Roman soldier, and the Romans and the Jews did not get along. They hated each other in those days. And he stabs a spear in Jesus' side, and blood and water came out onto his face. And it says in verse 39, and when the centurion, which stood over against him, saw that he so cried out and gave up the ghost. So he's saying, and when the centurion saw that, Jesus cried out and gave up the ghost, which means he died. Cried out and gave up the ghost. He said, truly, this man was the Son of God. And, you know, there's something about being in the presence of God that changes you. This man, he just witnessed God himself give his life for us, for him. And he said, truly, this man was the Son of God. In these times, the Romans hated the Jews. But when he experienced God firsthand, it changed his life. You know, there's many of you who have experienced God firsthand as well. You've been in school and you've heard preaching. You have mates who've tried witnessing to you. You've been to church and you've heard the gospel. Maybe you've just seen videos like this. And you've experienced God trying to reach you, trying to get your attention and try and give you the opportunity to go to heaven when you die. But I think it's time that you be like this man and say, truly, this man was the Son of God, and just admit you're a sinner and let God change your life. And you know what you also need to do? You also need to share it with others. You're not just going to keep it to yourself. I heard a saying that was, Jesus died in public for you, so don't live your life for him in private. And that's what you need to do. This man, his name was Saint Longinus, and he was a Roman centurion. And what happened was, after Jesus died, according to history, he went on to preach in modern day Turkey and shared the gospel there. And it got to the point where he would go and get the false idols they were worshipping, and he'd smash them on the ground, and he would preach about Jesus. And they got him and they ripped out his teeth and they cut off his tongue, and then they killed him. And you know what? He was changed by God, and he went out and he preached for him. He didn't let persecution stop him. He didn't let hate from others stop him. But he let the man who changed his life change him so that he could go and reach others. And some of us need to be like this man. I was like this man at one point. When I was younger, I gave my life to Jesus. I realized that truly this man was the Son of God. And I gave my life to him. And now I want to share it with others. And you have the chance as well. Jesus died for you and gave his life so that you can go to heaven. Why wait any longer? Be like this man, the centurion man. He said, truly this man was the Son of God. Be like him. Accept Jesus. And then Jesus will lead you in life. In Mark chapter 16, verse 15, Jesus, after he arose, he preaches to the disciples and gives them the instruction, commonly known as the Great Commission. Verse 15, and he said unto them, go ye into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature. And that's an instruction to everyone. Go ye. That's every born again believer. That's what we're meant to do. Some people say, oh, well, soul winning is just not my thing. No, it is supposed to be your thing. It says, go ye into all the world. And that's what the problem is with many Christians. We don't share the gospel with anyone. There was a quote I heard, and it said, most Christians listen to over 500 songs, will hear over 100 messages every year, and will not share the gospel with one person. And that's what we're like. A lot of us are just lazy, and we don't want to share the gospel with anyone. Man, Jesus gave his life for us, and we're too scared to tell someone? What's wrong with us? Instead, Jesus tells us, go out and share the gospel. This is the best news anyone could ever receive. And you're too scared to tell them? No. We should be open about it. It should change how we live our life. Like this Roman centurion. His life was changed after he gave his life to Jesus. That's what we need to do. And we need to be more open and we need to be more bold, and we need to share Jesus more.